everybody, to this week's VFX and Chill with Hashi and Seth. I'm Seth. And Hashi, who are you?
I'm Hashi this week.
Good. Fantastic. Listen.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
That's all you need to have. It's good to see you, too. How's the move going?
Move is going well. I would 70 to 75% of things in boxes, which makes for a very exciting minimalist aesthetic in the house, which is really cool. It's a combination of sleek, minimalist, and clutter, and the dust from the bottom of every closet scooped out into the hallways. So, it's that classic
I know
look.
people who that's their... I mean, I feel like anybody with two kids, especially kids your age, like that's their default house setting is what you just described.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's an ordeal, but
now I want to go to our guest really fast, but I actually do want to bring something up on the show that I didn't even ask your permission to bring up on the show, but you showed me a picture once, and I wish I had the picture on hand, so this was a bad idea immediately, I can tell. Which is, what was that disembodied laugh from somewhere? But you had sent me a picture of your house before you moved in, and there were how many desk chairs in that house?
So the house that we live in now used to belong to my great uncle, who worked for Great Western Bank, and he was I believe had something to do with being in charge of he was an inventory manager for all of the branches that got shut down as that bank went under. And so he had no less than 20 to 30 office chairs in this house, a bunch of huge metal desks and cubicle walls and 400 staplers. It was quite an assortment of things to bring home from work. But yes, it was quite the aesthetic. I'm sure I could bring up some pictures later. But the before and after of us living here were drastically different.
Before you bring the guest on, Ryan Doggenball from the chat is saying that they haven't seen one studio through 3 studio yet, and they're wondering if there's going to be a recap before you bring on 4 studio.
It's more of a soft reboot. So I think that even if you're not familiar, you'll miss some of the
Easter eggs. That's actually a great first question for me to bring up to our friend Zach. I would right now like to introduce to you. He's the co-founder and executive creative director at IV Studio, an animation and game studio based in Nashville. He's also a very good friend of mine. We have developed some very weird, very confusing and rejected projects together. Please welcome our good friend Zac Dixon. Zach. Welcome to VFX and Chill.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. That's a very good way to describe our project, Seth.
We like to live within the Venn diagram of everything that's unmarketable and unsellable. Just any adjective you can think of for something that's unsellable, every quality and trait, we're right there in the middle.
You got to try, though.
Now, just to be clear, that's only the stuff you and I work on together. The stuff you make, however, which I'm going to cut right to the chase. You guys started making games. Well, actually, real quick, tell us about IV and a little bit of the journey that got you where you are, and then while you're there, just explain to us, tell us how many people have called you for studio at some point in your history.
So I'll take those questions in reverse order. So I mean, now it's a good toss up, halfway through. It's a good confusing name, which is really what you want. It sticks out in people's minds, which is what you want. It used to stand for something else, and then we shortened it, and now it's like the Joker's origin story. We just say it means something different every time. So today it's just this is the 4th iteration of the studio. So it's IV Studio. I like the prequels. But anyways, IV used to it started with my business partner Sam Cowden. We met at school. We took film classes together, and I was going to do music, and he was like, "No, we should start a studio and do film and animation." So we moved to Nashville, and we started doing animation. We do a lot of motion graphics for clients all over the world. That's kind of how we started working out of Sam's house at the time. And then started hiring people as the job got bigger, and got to work with some super cool clients, some real dream clients, in like Nike and Netflix and Reddit and Amazon, and just all sorts of folks that I'm still can't believe they
you guys,
paid us to do
I've
things,
often
which is
said
awesome.
you guys are like, and I'll say this so you don't have to, you guys are like, we're both from Nashville, and when I started seeing you guys work, the work you guys are putting out, it was like, how are they in Nashville? These guys are way too talented to be in Nashville. And we went to get coffee together, you and I forgot who connected us, and I remember it was a standard like general meeting. We like got along, we mutual admirers of each other's work, and then at some point you said the words Half-Life. You said, I'm working on some Half-Life fan short or like test. And I was like, whoa, you just opened up a whole room of things we can talk about that I don't normally assume I can talk about with the average person.
Yeah, no, it was a title sequence, a fake title sequence for the non-existent Half-Life television show, that I had a short treatment for. And
oh, really?
So yeah, which top 2 video game of all time. If anyone's played it, I absolutely love it, because they stole my idea, which was clearly
congrats on your
obvious.
success.
Thank you.
Yes, very congratulations.
But yeah, anyways, and then we started to. I've always loved games, but from a larger perspective, I've always wanted to have a studio that doesn't just make work for clients, that we're able to kind of take the amazing creative staff that we have and create things that we're passionate about, and that other people are passionate enough about to actually purchase and be passionate about with their money, so we can continue to work on things that we love. So that actually started with a video game first. I started dabbling in Unity, and we made a game as a studio called Bouncy Smash, which you can still download on iOS.
It's awesome.
It's free.
It's really awesome.
And that was a blast to work on, which got us into Unity, and we've been kind of integrating Unity into our work and our processes ever since then. But Bouncy Smash made no money, which is fine. Probably because it's free. Someone should have told me that wasn't gonna, make money. And then we tried. I was like, well, what if we did like a tabletop game? That seems fun. We could, we know how to market things, and so we did. We came up with a sci-fi deck builder called Moonrakers, and that we kickstarted and did quite well. And kind of launched this games division in our studio, since we've come out with 2 other games, one called Veiled Fate and one most recently called Mythic Mischief.
Mythic Mischief.
And yeah, so
it's awesome. Here's so I got the clip on up here. If you want to tell, not the clip on. I've got a clip on tie on underneath this hoodie, but then also I have this clip on screen. If you want to explain what it is, what we're looking at.
Yeah. So really, just the games division exists to just make really cool animated trailers for things, because we still just at our core really love doing animation and animated work. So Mythic Mischief as a game is. I was just at a conference this weekend, so I've been pitching the game at the booth all weekend. So I'll give you the little booth spiel. So Mythic Mischief is a abstract strategy game for 1 to 4 players. It follows a group of mythic students at a boarding school, a high school for mythics. So you've got these different cliques that are also mythic factions. So here you've got the wizards, which are the nerds. You've got the Frankenstein's monsters, or the jocks, the trolls, or the drama kids. And they're all in the Forbidden Library at Mythic Manor. And the Tome Keeper is wandering around the halls, who's approaching the zombies here, kicking the students out of the library. So the students aren't supposed to be there, and you play as these different factions. You have this board in front of you with has all kinds of different actions that you can do that are different from each other based on your faction, and you're trying to maneuver the board state and all that stuff to get your opponents kicked out of the library, and you get points for getting your opponents kicked out of the library. It's almost like, I wouldn't say this to like hardcore board gamers, but like it's almost like chess, but everybody has different rules pieces move. And
That sounds like a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Also, I know I was having audio trouble earlier. I tried switching out my mic cord in case that was what was doing it. Let me know in the chat if I sound like garbage.
Oh, does Hope Zach doesn't sound like garbage?
Do I sound like garbage?
No, I think it's just me.
Well, let's ask the Great Michael in the Sky. Great Michael in the Sky, you're the one speaking to the people, the peasants, the civilians, the townsfolk, if you will. What do they have to say about all of this?
First of all, I won't with the townsfolk. And second of all, they mentioned once that it seemed a bit jittery on Hashi's side, but they have hushed about it since. And when I have previewed the audio, Hashi has sounded
Hashi,
fine.
I didn't realize I had let you talk at all so far in the show.
No. I'm just here to.
Yeah, that's what you want. That's why we have Daniel Hashimoto on a show.
No, I like the idea of this monster game. Sophia is very much into these creatures as younglings at school. Is one of her favorite pretend games, and so I feel like this is right up her alley. Oh, Sophia is my 7-year-old.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. Well, if I could, I feel like we're here to talk about animation, but we're talking about board games. So if you want to buy this game, it is still on. You can late pledge on GameFound. If you just Google GameFound Mythic Mischief, you can still get it. We did just finish up our kind of pre-order campaign, but I don't know. There's, I guess, not that
That's
finished because you can still order it.
I didn't know GameFound worked that way. You can just keep ordering it through GameFound even after the campaign's up?
I guess, this is not really my department. Yeah, but no, it's actually the same backend that like Kickstarter uses and stuff like that, but GameFound is so you can also do that on Kickstarter as well.
Well, that's very cool. Man, it's amazing, and having played, I've actually only gotten to play Moonrakers. That was your first game a couple years ago. And I remember
gorgeous aesthetic for that entire
It's
package.
Gorgeous and amazing. And I remember you had me over at your house and you and Austin showed me like how to play it. And I feel like you discovered a massive flaw in the game that night because I ended up winning. And am I right? Am I remembering this correctly? I'm not just embellishing it for my own stuff. Like I remember I won and you guys had this look at each other like, that's not right. Like something's happened here.
It shouldn't be this way. We pulled the shipment. We delayed the game 2 months because of that night.
It was great. I am curious about. I really, really freaking love these promos you did for Mythic Mischief, and I know a lot of it is primarily 2D animation. What was I going to ask? But then I love the little embellishments. One I love is it Cody? Is it Cody Fry's music in this? I just love little synth twinkle do thing he's got going there is so good.
I know, it's such a great hook, and we're doing a score. That was our stretch goals for this thing. If we made it a certain level, we were going to do like a vinyl and everything. So maybe on the second edition we'll get it up there. But the score is my favorite part of these. And it's so good.
But I also love the little you've as long as I've known you've been the master of glows. I know I believe that's it's
that. You mean someone who
knows how to do it, but you know how to do it, man. It's
you.
inscribed somewhere in the world in some cave that Zac Dixon is the master of glows. And you've got the perfect little flourishes of glow in this great 2D animation in here, especially in the logo when it comes up I don't know, I just want to break apart everything going on here. Which we can do, right? I can go. You're sharing your screen, and we can look at some things.
I am sharing my screen. Hold on.
Oh, it's
right now. It'll be your faces. But
there's the game found. Show us that.
There's the. Wow. I didn't do this on purpose, but yes, this is the game found.
And this is your bank account, right?
Here's the cast of. Yes. Not yet, but. Let's see. We got all kinds of cool expansions. We got clothes you can buy. It's crazy. But anyways, here's After Effects. We all actually get in here.
I do want to say real quick. It does look familiar.
Hey, that looks familiar.
I opened your same project. You sent it to us, and it's just been a series of warnings since I started trying to open it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry about those. It's fine. Don't even. I mean, there are a lot of plugins and stuff. I don't know. That's what everybody needs. But yeah, I'm trying to think what would be a good walk
This is
through.
on the Red Giant channel, so yes, everybody needs some
Yeah.
plugin.
Go download those.
Although I'm not
plugins.
sure what
Giant
these are, the
ones.
ones that it's missing. I've never heard of them before.
So you say I'm the master of glows. I used to just use and abuse the fast blur and just
Dude, hang
and
on.
all the
People may
random
not know
stock
this.
blurs.
You're the one who taught me this. I, for the longest time, just either dropped After
really?
Effects' stock glow on, or this is before Red Giant's optical glow, which is now kind of my favorite one. But, and not just because I work here, but you were the one who was like, just tell me. Go ahead and explain it to me the way you explained it to me, because it blew my mind, and everybody probably already knows it.
Oh, sure. I mean, so right now we just got this this video on top, and there is this kind of glow. Actually, I wonder if I can just get in and solo some stuff. Let's see how well this will work. So I use Deep Glow a lot now.
That's okay.
Sorry,
Who makes Deep Glow?
It's not on brand for this show, but it's great.
We'll dub that out. Don't worry.
Yeah. Just
So I use Red
it just
Giant
says
product.
Red Giant.
Not even optical glow. It's just the most vague blanket.
I got it on AE Scripts. I can't remember the name of the company who does it. But anyways, so let's see. Let me get to just solo some stuff. Cool. So we've got this nice thing, and then you just do a fast blur. Just add it on top, and then you crank it up a little bit, and then you use add or screen, depending upon how aggressive you want it to be. And then, of course, that really made it quite a bit brighter. So then I usually just bring in some curves or levels.
And you're doing this all.
You're
You're doing all this on an adjustment layer, right?
Not into levels, but yeah, this is all on an adjustment layer, just straight up on top of everything. So you're able to come in and you get this nice,
it's just
soft
blur and blend. How stupid am I that I didn't realize that's what glow is for the longest freaking time?
Well, this works the best in a 32-bit project. It won't work quite as nicely or beautifully in an 8-bit project. And also, it works great if you stack a couple of instances of that adjustment on top of each other, as I'm sure he's likely about to show you. But one of the reasons I like optical glow is that it works in even an 8-bit project to give you that same sort of lovely follow.
Michael, there it is.
Yeah.
Michael shows all the products for us, so we don't have to. Also, because Michael knows way more than us and is way more qualified to host a streaming show about After Effects.
Yeah. So, anyways, you just use different types of blurs with it too. If you wanted to get a nice, a window blur over here, we could use the fast.
They should put the word fast in all the plugins, so I'll use all of them.
Yes, they'll use all of them. Yeah, that's a good idea. So if we want to just do a nice blur from the window over here, see if we can get that together. It's
Those are gorgeous. Those little streaks and things like that.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you doing that with?
So the CC Radial Fast Blur.
Discount Shine.
It is Discount Shine.
Yeah.
Because you used to tell me.
I'm just
well, that's all we're all ever doing. Whenever we get creative, we're basically just rebuilding our really good third-party plugins.
Red Giant plugins. This is usually what happens. I'll be you see this cool thing I did, and Seth's just let me show you something. And then it's just a Red Giant product.
Interesting you say that. Because there is a problem that you have asked me in several times that if there's a Red Giant plugin to solve this, and I hate to say this online, but I've come up short. And even though we have chromatic aberration tools, and we have Michael here who can tell us if there's a way to do this, present your problem, and I actually would love to see how you ended up doing it.
Okay.
Problem solving.
Well, so okay, so this has like some chromatic aberration on it, right? Like if I can get in real close here and like show you like what I'm talking about. So with the chromatic aberration, right, it's just separating the RGB channels with a little bit of offset, and you get these lines that used to be, you know, a white line, and now it gets split up into two lines. It works pretty well here because like the red and blue like kind of fits this like pinky purpley palette pretty well. But then if we hop over to something else like the zombies, I think. Let's see, where's that at here? We hop over to zombies. It just doesn't look as good because there's no like. Well, I didn't use it as much as this because it was really messing with my color palette. But like, I want to be able to do this like splitting feature, but like use the color palette because a lot of the work that we do is like a bit more illustrative. Like it's got a really tight color palette, and then this RG split comes in and just adding these gross green, blue, and reds on top. And I don't want that. It's mucking up my colors. But I want that like nice, like offset look that it gives me that like really kind of adds some nice texture.
What'd you end up doing?
And vibe to the frame. I just only used
it
to look good in these. So so like I just didn't use it when it didn't fit
when
color
I brought
palette.
it up.
So, like,
I brought it up with the
just,
team,
like,
and I think it was
doesn't have
Harry
as much
Frank
of it.
who's telling me like it's actually a math problem. Like the like you know the splitting up RGB values like and splitting them in two and having them equal one. You know, those aren't the right numbers, but having them basically splitting them and having them equal one as like whole in the middle, like. But having them these specific colors, it doesn't quite work that way. My point is I'd like to solve this on the show, and I'm not turning the show off until we figure out how to do that.
Like, yeah, I wonder if there's a way to like, I don't know, like just do position offsets, but I don't know how you keep the colors. That's the tricky part. Like, what do the colors end up being?
Well, can you not? I mean, that's what I'm like. Can you not just do overlays? Does it have to be? Is it
smarter than me?
Does the look reliant on it actually being a splitting up, like of it being two? Is it two images or three? Because in my head, can you get away with it being the whole image and then two separate colors that are offset on top, or does that? Well, they're going to blend anyway when they hit each other, unless there's a way to do an intersection thing.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times it ends up just being the two colors because you just leave like red and blue together, and that'll give you like purple and green as your like kind of two RGB split colors. I've been using, maybe this is a Red Giant plugin.
Is it?
Let's see.
I don't think so because I had some kind of RGB thing come up
Look
saying I
for
didn't
it.
have it when I tried to open this. Yeah, that's
Separate
different. We do have a
RGB.
really great RGB. Yeah, that's not us. That's somebody else. Get it away. It doesn't exist. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
All right, get out of here. Okay. Red Giant.
It's Alan, because I have so little to
I mean, in
constructive
Magic Bullet,
color
in
stuff.
Magic Bullet Looks, you get a control over several channels of separation. So you could pick, for example, in the zombie scene, I would split the blue and yellow channel, and you would get colors that are a little better. You'd get the split, but it wouldn't give you.
Now that's
ugly red
only
and green
in looks.
popping
We don't have that. We can't do that with
Yeah.
Universe or with something in just in AE.
I'm thinking.
Beep boop boop beep boop boop. He mutes it because what you're hearing is the computer beep boop beep boop that happens in the 90s whenever a computer is on. That's the sound Michael makes.
I didn't get that.
Let me.
So
hang on, I'm going to pull up my After Effects, and Michael, explain to me again exactly what you were saying. So if I, Hashi, you're going to come up too, just FYI, because I'm going to the split. This whole episode is about splits.
Excellent.
So I've got. Let me do a more solid
splits.
font here so that it's not as. Let's
Banana.
do. Oop, that was the adjustment layer. Pulled it up just so I can not know how to do After Effects.
Amazing. In the meantime, Zach, all of these animated characters, where
I love
are
that
they
font, by
coming
the way.
from?
That's a beautiful font.
Mater Umbra. It's actually, I got it from the list of Loki fonts used on the Loki intro back when I remade the Loki intro. That's one of them. And it's really fun.
Pretty.
Hashi, so the short answer is amazing animators. So I have the credits
I'll go to your
list
screen.
pulled up here on my screen, just so because everyone should know all of these wonderful people. So we got Nada and Agris did all of the cell animation on this piece. So they were in, I believe Nada works in Flash and Agris works in, flip them. So Flash CC Animate now. And then Nada works in Photoshop, just doing all the layers in Photoshop. So
that's amazing.
So the process starts with, we've got our team is like 10 full-time. So Michael and Nate, didn't add that here. Michael and Nate and I each directed different ones. And so the first step is we always start with some animatics. Oh, that's not an animatic. That's way too good to be an animatic. So we start out with animatics, which are just like these nice little storyboards.
Mm-hmm.
Really kind of time things out, get our basic shots together and things like that. I think this was Nate and Kelly putting this together. Mm-hmm. And then that goes into pencil tests, which ends up looking like this. You start pretty just pretty loose, just to get the actions and stuff.
I do love the pencil test version of things, though. It's such a great moment to have in motion. Like, that was my favorite thing working with in any animated project, honestly, is watching the pencil tests come back. They just have this really great quality.
Oh yeah, no, it's so fun. And then then we moved to tie downs, which I don't have any easy access, but that's basically just like we've committed to these lines. They tie those lines down and then become just like more like a pen, if you will. Like it's just a straight line. And then let's see, I can get to what I had before compositing. Let's go to Wizards.
Let's go to Wizards. Let's always go to Wizards.
I think that's the translated title of the Harry Potter books in some countries. Let's go to Wizards.
And then instead of going, you are returning, but a different word is the adult version of those books.
Oh, Michael. Michael, you're getting too powerful, Michael. You're getting we're giving you too much leeway here, too much creative control over your own words. Also, that was funny.
So this is what comes in then from Photoshop, which is pretty great. Like, the integration between Photoshop and After Effects doing stuff that way is pretty wonderful, because I have all these broken up layers. So I was able to go in later and just you can see this rim lights and stuff on the staff.
I was going to ask about those rims and stuff.
So a lot of that is just really simple offsets, just in After Effects. Yeah. So if I go to the wand, so this is what came in, right? It's just a few different drawings and repositionings of that wand. But then I just do a really simple, duplicate the wand, alpha invert matte on that wand.
The land of 2D, the offset is king. It's so fun. Do you have when these characters come in, do they have sets of palettes for a lit or shaded side or anything like that? Or do they just have designated character palette, and it's sort of up to the compositor to come up with what the highlights or shadows look like?
So the compositor was just me. So so I just kind of did whatever
what did
I
Zac
felt
do
was
on
right. So yeah, nothing specific there. We did the brand, the Mythic Mischief brand has very official color palettes that all these started from, and when we started, it was maybe we were kind of thinking it would just be in this kind of flat style that had a really tight color palette. But then when I got in there and just started playing around, I couldn't help myself and just added all the glows and jitters and extra lighting stuff. And that was all just like from doing stuff like that, where just like offsetting stuff. And then sometimes I even added like some gradients and things like that too, between different
really
layers.
Cool. It is a lot of fun to get to play with 2D compositing. I did a lot of it at DreamWorks. It was almost everything that we were doing were, they came in through Toon Boom or
oh, nice.
Through,
People still use Toon Boom?
Very similar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's still being kept alive. It's on life support at all the studios that I know. but the artists that work in it are very good at it, and there's not a great substitute that I know of.
Well, and they've got like really good character rigging tools too. Like it gets like pitched over here a lot. If we get like a really like long piece, which we don't do a lot of, but it's like, oh, let's make like a mouth rig or like a face rig to do like lip sync or something like that over in Toon Boom. So it doesn't happen too often, but.
Speaking of workflow questions, Zach, Jeff Webb is asking, are you using Time Lord for bringing your Photoshop's animation work over into After Effects? Because like Overlord, it's from the same company that does Overlord, which makes Illustrator stuff work easier in After Effects. But Time Lord is for specifically for helping frame by frame animation stuff in After Effects kind of work.
Yes. No, I am not, but I'm very familiar and a huge oversight for not using that, because that process was not very seamless bringing stuff in, which is weird.
No, it's not weird. Oversight is the name of my animation studio. And it's also a mission statement at the same time. No, Time Lord, that's like probably the coolest sounding app I've ever heard of in my life.
It's a way to import a bunch of layers based on what their proper timing is supposed to be, yes?
You guys have become the letter S in the feed. As long as the stream's still going, we're fine. I can still hear you guys.
I think I dropped out, and I think when I came back in, I might have like 2 screen sharing things up now or something.
I can see your screen. Move stuff around on your screen.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see your screen. You just are the letter S.
Oh. Weird.
Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna click buttons until you guys come back. You guys keep talking.
These frames are so great.
I'll figure this out. You guys were actually onto something before I started making dumb jokes, which is the story of this show.
Were we? I'm trying to remember what we were.
We're talking about. Before I said that people still use Toon Boom, you were actually talking process.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. So like, I mean, I can just get back to the like kind of general flow of things. We had Michael, who's our art director, then doing backgrounds. So, like all the backgrounds were 2D plates that we then occasionally manipulated in After Effects. I especially love this like. There was one that we had to like really actually do some like frame by frame work for. It was this like giant zoom back with the witches, which had like some like painted out frame by frame stuff. The witches one is my favorite of the bunch, but just a few like in between frames that you can kind of see it like transition a little bit in the middle there. But yeah, and then once we had all the stuff, then it was just like my favorite thing to do, which is just go in and play with all the files and see what we can do to kind of plus it up.
And I don't remember how much did you do any kind of multi-plane setups of the backgrounds for moving shots, and were those prepared for you in a different way, or were the split ups all done in After Effects?
This one, like this kind of opening running shot, I think I just ended up just like splitting out the backdrop into different layers over in here, because like it was a little bit of a mess. This has got I can't get the SWFs to work on Mac for whatever reason, but at the moment it seems like we're fine. They just like magically started working again.
And so did your faces. I don't know what
so
happened.
Yeah, this is great. This never happens to me. So I really had to do a lot to make these like glows work. I ended up having to like make black and white maps essentially of like all of the stuff that was in the light. So I was just able to do that, breaking up like all the Photoshop files. So then from here we get, let's see, what is actually this? What in the world is this doing? Where's my light? Volumetric light. Okay, cool. So like this is the magic layer that kind of sits on top that does all that stuff. So it's using, I just basically made my own like glow map and then was really able to just, all it is the CC radial blur that we were talking about before, just tinting it to get a little bit of color and then like soften it a little bit with some fast blur. And it just ends up being like a really fast.
Are you ever tempted to load that volumetric light up with noise, or is that just like a conscious choice on these things to give it a little bit of depth, like volume and depth, but without overcomplicating it?
Noise, like you mean like just add some like turbulent
crap in the air,
turbulent noise or something.
Well, I didn't know if you did it. Well, that's also the kind of thing that was just going to overload your comp immediately as well. But like I just didn't. I was curious if it was a creative choice or if it was another hit from Oversight Productions.
I mean, it wouldn't necessarily overload the comp if you use something like, if you have Trap Code Shine, it's got the ability to add 3-dimensional fractal noise right into light beams without having to do a bunch of crazy multiple layer business. So you actually get true volumetric smoky stuff just on the one really fast rendering effect. So if you have Shine, it might help you out more in this situation next time to get that nice volumetric.
And that's what we call an alley-oop, where in basketball, one player throws a ball in the general direction, I believe. No, that's not what it is. It's called something. I think I was getting there. The point is, well done, Michael. Thank you, Michael.
I'm so proud
Thank
of you
you
for doing a sports thing.
That was wonderful.
All right. How do I add a mask into this shine layer? Let's give this a try here.
Excellent. I'm going to try demoing that over on my screen too.
See it.
Just if I had a layer, just a text or something like that, and then let's add a new adjustment layer.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to solve this color split thing, and this is the looks thing Michael was pointing out, and it's really cool and really useful. The only issue is it's doing it. Look at that. That is shine.
I do love how great collective soul song. Great.
All good plugins are good collective soul songs.
So yeah, here's Shine. Lovely GPU accelerated, I think, but very, very fast light rays like this. But one of the cool things you can do here is enable some fractal noise here. And look at that. With very little work, we've just got little like church beams showing off some noise there, and then you can
very nice.
Mess with the settings. You can add some wind or something like that, and how quickly it's
just do me a favor. So set that fractal blend mode to screen for me, so I don't throw up. No, you're gonna do it super add.
I'm gonna make 2 of them with an add, super add. All right, so we'll do that, and then we've got to add some keyframes to this source point, right? Just so we can do the classic. Every short made at school in 2002.
Yes.
Here's the title sequence.
Another good way to get that 2002, that 97 to 2003 trailer look is with our old pal Ecto. By the freaking way, I found this Ecto. Is not. Yeah, you keep going. You keep going. I'll find my thing.
No. I was just gonna switch out.
There we go. Try out that lovely 3D fractal noise.
Yeah, you got to do that.
This is.
Oh no! Why?
Papyrus really just did not work. Papyrus doesn't play well with shine.
You have to jack up boost the light with the boost light slider.
Yeah.
And pick different color. Papyrus really needs I mean, that's good for like a
1998
mummy movie. Oh
mummy
yeah, there you
movie.
go, mummy movie.
Zach,
Yep,
I want to
there you go.
screenshot this stream, and I want to put it everywhere so people associate you with these visuals.
Yeah, this is what
Zach's
we make
just
here
slowly
at
like
with
in
your
down
studio.
and hiding. Oh, I actually did fall, and I don't know how to get out of this situation from there, so I'm gonna slide out real quick.
That was beautiful. Visual comedy, everybody.
I'm over here just trying to figure out why my license is like showing up with a red.
Is it a red giant?
Good old red X.
Dumpty. I can't.
Oh yeah, it's the very famous Red X. Are you using the Red Giant application manager, or are you using the new Maxon app?
I'm using the new Maxon app.
Have you tried logging out and logging back in?
It'd be very funny.
No,
Zach,
I can do
I
that
want
right
you
now.
to go to social media, go to Twitter, and at Red Giant News and ask and work out the problem that way, because it's going to be Michael who answers you. So, yeah.
Really? The new Maxon app is great, though. I will say.
It works a lot better.
We're grabbing that soundbite right now.
Application manager did, that's for sure. But it needs some work. We are poking relevant folks with the things. We're like, hey, listen, come on, you gotta. Come on.
Yeah.
And
I'm just showing everybody. I found my
there.
presets, my preset GIFs that I made, that I sent Harry when we were developing Ecto, because this show, we have a running. I thought this show was the perfect place to show this off, where people would enjoy. I'd forgotten I made all of these. These are like my original looks that I made for some of the presets that are in Ecto. That one intentionally looks like the Godzilla 2000 or whatever year that was, Godzilla 99. Like, you get that 90s look immediately with that stuff. My favorite one in here, though, was... I wish we had named it Blood Orphan. I wish we had named this one. This is my favorite one. Welcome to the F starring Sun.
You see, we would sell so many more plugins.
Anyway, fun things.
No luck on the licensing. I don't know what's going on.
Are you using Red Giant Red X? Because that's actually supposed to look that way. We need that. We need that in universe.
Oh, is that
the? You may need to sign out, sign back in. Anyway, the point is, you get 3D fractal noise in your smoky, shiny layers instantly and immediately with shine.
Yeah, no, I've got it up.
Let's do it. It's perfect for marketing.
Giant Red X. Yeah, I'm sure this is great.
We'll just say that it's copyright. Like it's, it's.
We could also let's try painting out the Red X with content to our fill. Our bosses would love that.
No. That's a bad idea, Seth.
Oh, sorry.
You want to use simple wire removal.
Oh, there it is. The color key, just straight up at red. But that doesn't work here. This is great.
The color key.
Great Red Giant content. All of our tips and tricks for how to get rid of red X's.
Okay, that doesn't get us shut off YouTube, and yet me showing a clip that I got off YouTube gets us shut off YouTube. Referencing last week's episode.
I'm just impressed that they shut you down.
It was the algorithm. It wasn't like Marvel was like Kevin Feige was watching
it
and was watching VFX and chill. Although, yeah, if you are Kevin, please come on the show. We would love to have you. Disney shuts us down because Kevin Feige's face is on screen.
Anyways, should have just used this instead of.
Well, it's funny that you didn't, because you used to tell me that Shine was like your go-to. We don't have to unpack this for at all, but you used to tell me that for several years back, you were like, you were in a season where you were putting Shine on everything at the end before shipping it, just because it gave it a nice haze over everything.
No, it is really nice. I don't know. It's probably bad advice, but I enjoy rolling my own effects just because I know what every little part of it's doing, and then you can come in and really tweak it under the hood. But in this case, I didn't, so it really just ended up being a very
it's good because
So yeah,
the visual effects class that I teach, I intentionally try to teach everything like without using third-party plugins, which means that I have to learn how to do everything I do without third-party plugins, like before each class, and it's like blowing my mind, like going on like okay, I'm now blanking. Our friend Ryan Summers works there. School of Motion. I'm going on School of Motion and like relearning how to do things I should have known how to do originally, like using shape layers. Like that's been a whole thing this past 2 weeks.
The shape layers thing, I'm impressed by. I love that you've embraced those and made some really cool stuff with them.
Yeah, I feel like there's like this war between like masks. And
Hashi, will you get to personifying that in a comp now,
like
please? War between masks and shape layers. Keep talking,
absolutely.
Zach.
Speaking of all After Effects stuff, I do have a fun comp to share. This will be I shared it on the Twitter, but I'm gonna boost the exposure just so it reads a little bit better.
This is so cool.
It's just so cool, Hashi. I love this.
I'm making a thing where I needed a smudge like on glass texture kind of thing. And there are a bunch of stock images like this available, but I wanted to see if I could make basically set my playhead at the right point, a random generator that would just make a variety of glass smudges and water droplets and things, all using just a bunch of simple things. Including this.
How is this
my handprint smudge generator.
Yeah, are there like photos underneath this, or
there are no photos?
Noise?
These are all solids and noise right
Amazing.
here. So I've got this. I started with this little swirl, which is just some fractal noise. Let's see if I pull back layers. Some fractal noise like that. A little bit of turbulent displace, and then I added a polar coordinates to it, so it gives it this little thing like that. And then I rotate it a bit just to put that thing over there. Duplicate of it has a high setting for a turbulent displace, so it just kind of adds this like secondary set of folds. Like it's not very fingerprintish, but it kind of works.
Yeah.
And then like a cell pattern to put some like skin cracks over there, another turbulent displace, a little grad on here, and then like an extract. So it kind of is just pulling the brightest bits of it. But all of these have high wiggle values on them, so they're shifting every frame, and then they kind of get thrown into this.
Go to hell, man. Go straight to hell.
Weird setup.
That's just so freaking awesome.
Howard, have you considered using the VR fractal noise so you don't have a line since it tiled?
I'm aware of it, and I keep on.
Have you considered using medication to bring yourself back down to like normal human?
The meds only made it worse, Seth. So anyway, I'm giving this away with our next thing, and I'm going to try to put some controls
Zach,
on it.
What did you just ask him? Because I think I want to know too.
Well, how did you get the hand like shape? Like that seemed like it was also like
CC hand
procedurally generated.
Yeah.
That probably
CC
exists.
hand.
I'm gonna type that in real quick.
Classic.
Let's see.
Colorized red hand.
Let's see. Do I have it?
What?
CC hair exists.
I've never used CC hair.
Let's see. Let me turn off the CC hair.
I'm gonna add some hair to the story.
I'd forgotten about.
It's weird. You can do some. When you play with it, you can make it do some really crazy things. Not really hair-related things.
Also, it blows up your computer right as I'm installing it.
You can do like a wave, like a.
Hand, sorry. I just put CC hair on the story clock, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
No,
not a fan.
The hand is just a bunch of copies, random time sampled of these, somewhat laid out in a handish direction, and then I put some. Expressions on the null that they're all connected to, and turned on the motion blur because that gives it a bit of smudged on effect.
Okay.
And like none of them are great if you analyze them for too long, but in the mix with all of this stuff, it all really kind of works nicely. And this stuff is all all very straightforward. Like we've got fractal noise choked down, so there's these kind of things showing up. These
what do you use to choke stuff?
My mitts.
Either matte choker or roughen edges. Roughen edges if I want it a little bit more organic. So this is a fractal noise pattern. Let's see. So just like, it's this very dramatic fractal noise pattern, and then I use CC. Let me turn down the exposure because it's softer than that, but I want to read on the web because it's pretty subtle. And then CC ball action, which just splits it into this wonderful array of balls like that. And then roughen edges on photocopy mode, which basically blacks out the center, and then you can kind of turn up how much fractal influence is on there, and then some more roughen edges as a secondary organic step, and then turbulent displace. And so it's hard to read, but if I turn it up, you can see it looks like, dry, like cool. Calcium ring or whatever. And then more of the same, just fractal noise stretched out and doing random things until they all kind of just shuffle through and have random settings.
Such a good look.
That's really ridiculous.
So proud of you for this one. It's one of my favorite things.
I do actually like this one. It was the tutorial has nothing to do with this. It was just that I wanted to be able to give away a smudge, and I didn't
to buy
want
a
to
smudge
give away
and give a smudge.
Some stock libraries.
100%.
That's cool.
If you want to buy a smudge, give a smudge.
Have you used any like flow maps before, like with like turbulent displace? Because then you could like actually smudge like the textures that are underneath it.
Like, what do you mean, Zach?
I need to try that.
I'm trying to think if I can like find a smudge flow map in general, but I like basically like if like flow maps in general are used like more on like the real time side of things to do like water flows and things like that, and it uses like a UV map essentially to like it should just plug into like a displacement map, like the displacement map.
Yeah. Or any displacement or anything that uses a displacement map.
And
probably.
Then yeah, I guess that'd be true. But it's essentially like I haven't seen it used too much in After Effects, and maybe I'm just like making this up.
Well, how is it different? How is it different from just a displacement map? What? Yeah.
Displacement map. Like, let's see a flow. Let's see if I can get some like stock flow maps.
That sounds really cool.
Oh, the very old and very underused foam plugin that is a native plugin in After Effects uses black to white gradients to push the particles in certain directions. So you do a nice smooth black to white gradient going this way with white edges on the sides. It'll, you can make the particles flow like they're going down a tube or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah, flow map. Look at that. How do I change the color of this dummy thing? It's in draft.
I'm trying to see if I can find some like stock flow maps, but nothing is really coming up. I've made some before, but
foam is interesting because like you can specify when the bubbles pop and all kinds of crazy stuff. But when you say flow maps in After Effects, that's the first and only thing I think of as far as native stuff goes that has flow maps in it.
Yeah,
very very low rent particle generator. These are always fun because they are great ways to generate, like if you need a bump map for rain falling or something like that. Something like this would be great.
Yeah, you can use foam to do some interesting things, but it's somewhat limited. Like you can't animate the flow map, for example, which is annoying.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, where is the flow map in here? I really like the flow map.
Yeah, under flow map.
And it can use okay, so
black
if I had
gradients. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say like because you can also get like these more. I've got one up on my screen.
Yeah, what Zach's got is like much more interesting as far as
let's see it.
Put this into a new comp real quick. So if you just do like just the red channel, you get something in there.
Ooh.
And it uses like the XY, pushes them in different directions. Then you should be able to bring that back out and
screen. It'd be great.
Oh, sorry about that.
and
Sorry
then
about
use
that.
them out here to like kind of.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, I can
am I
see
not
it. I
up?
didn't realize you couldn't see it, everyone.
Okay, so this is like a flow map. So this will do like kind of a swirl, pushing it around. Pretty sure this will work. And then, so like if you just like, you're using the separate like red and green channels to then put into your. I think it might work with displacement map, but maybe not.
Wow, this is so cool.
Sure, you play flow maps now.
Yes.
What are you doing? What's happening now?
Damn it! There goes my day. I just tried to make a little grad that looks like this, and then tell the foam to like that grad, and
And
now
what does it do now? Wait, so
it's the
how?
best thing I've ever made. So I don't entirely understand yet. I'm guessing.
You need to lay a gradient over top of shape that you made, and
to influence it
one side to
downward.
the other. Yeah, so it pushes them along the dupes. Yeah, put another gradient on top of that at a very low opacity, and you should be
Because
fine.
right now I'm not understanding. I understand Zach's side.
Something like
this.
in theory, right?
Yeah. Now use it.
All right. So now maybe they start here. Oh, maybe I need to invert it.
Yes.
Is there a checkbox for invert, or should I invert over here?
No, just swap it in the gradient. Swap the direction. There's a swap button in the gradient.
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah.
Just stop that.
There we go.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, so they swarm
So
from
they should
top
slow down.
and they kind of.
Oh, hang on.
Oh
now
my
I'm understanding.
Oh, that's
How do
cool.
we do it without bubbles? How do we do it with something else?
Is this dynamic? So like.
You can swap out the particles in foam. It doesn't have to be bubbles like that. That's just for quick rendering, because foam was designed way back in the day when we had really, really slow computers. So its defaults are set to be really, really fast rendering, but it's you can make it look much better than that now.
Wait, so I could, in theory, does it follow if it's dynamic?
It does not animate. That's one of the problems. It takes the first frame.
Screw you,
you
foam.
Probably said that. And
You're nothing to me anymore.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, that's why that's for this sort of stuff now. I usually use motion paths in particular because, well, that's still not animatable. What do I do? Oh, I use X particles. That's right.
I do real
Cinema
things.
4D. Whee!
I'd been experimenting with like I've been trying to do some like more like painterly, like flow map stuff.
Well, Hashi, go into rendering and change it to be something else, please. Thank you.
Wait, you can. Oh, so it doesn't have to be. It can be user defined. So I could say like
anything you want, Hashi.
I'm gonna create some fractal noise.
I want to see the painterly flow map Zach's got up once, if he's got a second.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how big the particle should be.
Just hooking it up to a slider here, but
we're learning. We're learning, everyone.
I'm looking at you.
So I got it over here. Whatever. So I basically went into Photoshop, and I do not paint things, but just messed around with some brushes. There's like, I Googled a way to like paint actual flow maps in Photoshop, and you kind of start on this like gross yellow color, which is just like gray in red and green, just middle level. And then you start to like paint out from that. Like if you go down and the left, it goes towards red. And if you go up and right or up and left, it goes towards green. And you're able to kind of paint out these different flow maps. And then it's not as useful in just stuff like straight up 2D setting. But you're able to like push and pull your image based on the way that you painted. And you can get these kind of like crazy kind of painterly displacements. I got a couple different ones that I ended up painting out, but where I was really going with it was trying to use it to like alter the position of lighting. So that way, like as a light falls off or a shadow hits, you're sampling different textures that are painted offset. So you get these like nice like fall off, depending upon the position that the light's hitting. It's just sampling it from a slightly different place that's determined from this flow map. That was what it was initially intended for, but anyways, you can like really push pixels around this way. It's a lot of fun.
It looks almost like an inverted normal map, color-wise.
Oh yeah,
it does. Yeah.
Throw invert on top of it real quick. I want to see if it's actually.
It actually works like that. Yeah. So.
You'd be really good for like if you're doing a transition, like a watercolor, like bleed out kind of thing.
Listen, I'm in the middle. That is a normal map. That is 100% normal map. Colors inverted. No, I'm actually in the middle of using rough and edges and stuff to do a big watercolor thing for a big medical conference thing I'm doing graphics for right now. I'm using a lot of rough and edges and fun stuff like that.
Very nice.
Actually, I want to see.
Let me see your flow map.
Let's see, what do I got? I'm just trying to add this little like fractal noise bead here so I could put a. Let's see. As I increase the prediction rate, I start to lose number of particles. Oh, I guess I got to scale them down.
Yeah, because with foam, they pop each other if they hit too hard. You can make it. Less likely to pop.
I'm trying to go for what I failed at last week, which is any twistery kind of thing. So I could do like this shape, and then here's what I would do. I would totally add a bunch of other AE things on it. I would add some fast blur it out, and then I would add some negative matte choker to bring it out like that. And then, wait, let's see. No, that looks pretty. Wait, where did I want? I want some of the detail there still. Okay, there we go. Oh, maybe some fast box blur that's just horizontal. And then
nice. We're doing a tornado again.
Oh, and then some CC light sweep. Let's turn up the width of the sweep and the edge intensity.
Light sweep. Let's teach him our light sweep ways, Hashi.
I mean, basically it's...
Oh, Zach.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Zach, it's...
to you.
Light sweep is usually used for like cheesy logo with a little bit of bevel light sweep, but it does so much more than that. You can, if you want to, you can like I'll have a copy here like this, then I can duplicate this and make this a black one and change it to composite, so I can like add custom shadows to the other side. So it's like a bevel or something, but a little bit more controllable. So I can add some ridiculous shading.
This is
for the work you do, Zach, this might actually be right up your alley.
Yeah, light sweep is really great. Yeah, add it to something, and it'll add a nice soft grad across the whole character if you want, depending on how wide you make it. You can make it a smooth or a fractally kind of thing.
Oh, wow. Like adding it to a character right now.
You can just pop the edges with it, though, is great for adding just a little bit of a rim light to an animated character. Or,
yes.
And I've used it on like photos of people just to make them look like they're lit more dramatically, and it works.
Do I need to pre-comp everything for the edge stuff to work?
No, it's work. You could add, if you want to, if the edge of the image bothers you with a bevel, you could always like reptile it out just a little bit past.
Yeah, Zach, I'm looking at what you're doing, Zach. You want to turn off the main interior sweep part and just use the edges.
Oh, I see.
You can turn down the main sweep and just
dude, I wouldn't have finished Dino Feast without light sweep. Hashi revealed it to me a couple of years ago, and it was like, yeah.
It's so wonderful for the specific thing that it does.
So I do this exact thing, but it takes me so long.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like pre-comping.
That's why I asked when you said you did an offset. I was like, why didn't he use light sweep? I know. Look at that, right?
Look at this. Got like just like pop a nice little pink rim light on here, and I don't even have to do anything else. This is great.
Look at this.
Well, that's a cool technique.
I got my money's worth out of this show.
I'd actually love to come by your studio.
Show you how to do your job.
Super comp might be useful for you, but that's a whole other discussion. No, I think because a lot of the compositing stuff you're doing, I think super comp might be right up your alley. But anyway, that's a whole other show.
Oh, have you not?
Seth's pitched me on it.
I guess you have never.
And so you'll have to overcome Seth's pitch because that didn't.
I did like a whole demo for you, bro.
No, you really did. And I was like, I'm stuck in my ways,
hey,
Seth.
That's okay.
I can't learn something
I'm
new.
the same way.
Well, hopefully see
that for a while.
A useful new thing for you.
No, this is great. No, and I do think that super comp is super cool. I'm just like, I don't know. I've been doing things. Like, do I learn something new or just do it the way?
Until
Seth, you have to switch back to Hashi when he's showing up.
I am.
Oh.
I'm on Hashi.
So it's doing a little thing. I'm trying to make some rough and edges that flow along this a little bit better. Let's see. Let's make the edges a little bit faster, a little bit more complex, and a little softer. And the fractal noise, I'm going to bring its opacity down a bit. Trying to blend everything together. I gotta work with it, but this is so weird.
Yeah.
It looks a little more like garbage now than it did before. I feel like it was more successful when there were fewer effects going on. But I like learning new things that I didn't know how to use. Like, look at this cool internal detail.
Cool. Yeah.
It's so weird and wild. Yeah, like just this. This was fine. That's all I needed to learn.
And what is the top effect from this or on this? That's you're putting the flow map into?
Foam, and then I'm doing a little fast box blur and a negative matte choker just to bleed everything together a little bit. But it's really cool. This really is what I like to use CC ball action for. But yeah, this is organic and neat, and I like these little like offshoots to the side.
Nothing's going to replace CC ball action for you ever.
No, that's permanently there.
So
you can't animate this, so that. But yeah, maybe you could pre-comp this whole comp and add some puppet pins to the to the tornado
to the flow map or whatever. Because that's what's like if you just animate that underlying map, couldn't you like really move it around?
It doesn't accept the. It just is sampling the first frame of it, even if it's animated. So it's too bad.
Got to get that added to particular.
Yes.
Because that would be dope.
Amazing. Are we lagging?
We are, because I think Seth's computer is not happy with him doing After Effects.
No one's happy with me doing After Effects.
I'll hold very still.
All right. It's because I opened my Dino Feast comps, and just because I was trying to show off light sweep. Trying to be part of the conversation, guys. But nope. Close project. You guys will get none of it.
Nope. No, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, light sweep is super handy for
you think that's what
things like that.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Zach, you ever I was just going to ask if you ever are asked to add texture on your characters.
Yes, actually. We did a short film with an illustrator based out of Scotland. Let me bring that up. It was this like storybook character. Let me see if I can find it. It was frame by frame, but also had like a bunch of texture to it. Super heavy After Effects files. Let me bring that up. Do you have like a hot tip on that? It was kind of awful.
I was just basically going to ask what the theory was, because if you're ever animating and you want to add something like a paper texture, it looks great for backgrounds and things, but
characters is always very difficult because characters are usually animated on ones or twos, meaning they're either 1 frame per second or rather, 1 frame per frame, or you'll get 2 frames per drawing. And if your texture doesn't move in concert with them, it's kind of sliding on top. And if a character is moving around a lot, you kind of want to have some of that texture married to parts of them if it's at all a readable texture. And I've just never seen one uniform solution. I feel like I see a per shot solution, but didn't know if you ran up to that.
No, I mean, this is like, it's up on my screen. We did this like
I'm only seeing After Effects.
Short film.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, I guess
Is it only sharing After Effects now? Shoot. Let's see. I guess I can reshare it.
All right, you heard it here in the chat. Someone is going to send Seth a new computer just for streaming. So
But both Jason Murphy and Blend That Film are offering.
I'm sorry, I'm only hearing from a series of S's.
Thank you, Jason. First the image of your hand lent to us, and now a full working streaming system.
Yeah, you guys. Seth. Well, all right.
I'll place your address in the chat right now.
Not to be defensive, but if Hashi were running the stream right now, I can't promise the stream would even still be live. So you gotta figure out, what do you want? Do you want a show and some really great After Effects, or do you want a bummer, like a kind of? Wait, I messed that up.
This is exciting. What is it? We've entered the Matrix.
I don't know.
What is happening with Skype right now?
It's everybody.
Is that me?
Oh, wait, what's cool? What are you seeing?
Well, at least we can see your Dino Feast.
That's all you can see is me and Dino Feast. This was not my intention.
What I do really love in After Effects is if you ever have a rotoed character or something like that, and then the footage doesn't load, and so you get like color bars but with roto shapes on them. I'd like to just take whatever my most roto heavy thing is and just replace everything with color bars.
It's like what you were talking about the other day about how, man, okay, I'm gonna try and bring you guys back, and I know how to do it. About how like when you forget you've rotoed the scene already, and you do a camera track, and like the banner is underneath the subject.
I love it. It's the classic Todd Vaziri's favorite trail. Hey, look at that.
Oh,
wait, I saw a little.
Oh, wait, as soon as I start sharing my screen, it like hates everything.
Oh,
I just started sharing my screen.
I know what's going on now then. Okay, hold on.
Oh, my cute widow dinosaur.
Share it again and I'll fix it.
All right. And start sharing.
And grid view. And it's fixed. That's all it ever was.
There you go.
How unusual.
It's Skype's fault, not Seth's computer's fault. Boo. This is a 2013 trash can Mac Pro. It's okay to blame the computer.
Let's take Microsoft to task.
Although now I'm seeing something else. I don't know.
We were talking about the textured stuff. Like I've got one up that we did.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it was this storybook about like Maya Rudolph did the voiceover, which was super cool, and totally outshone everything else. But we did
Stars do that.
It's like a storybook for kids who've lost a parent. And like how to kind of deal with that. It's like a whole like 3-book series, and so we did like animated versions of all of them.
Way to bring it down, Jack.
I know.
And there he is sleeping with his headless parent, right? Was that what that clip was?
No, it's a magic sweater.
Oh, okay. It's not like he's lost his whole parent, not just the head.
Yes, not just that. It's not a Pixar movie or something.
Has our stream gotten shut down yet by Maya Rudolph? But this is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very litigious about her material ending up online.
But really, like, just a lot of like, I just like had a bunch of
beautiful,
like little, like texture jitter stuff that would just like get added on to stuff, and then the frame by frame artist also did a pass of texture stuff on top as well too. That was also
that is so kind of them.
It really is. It took forever. It was.
We did
tough one.
On what was it? I can't remember if it was one of the Kung Fu Panda movies. Oh no, it was for Mary Poppins. We asked the animators to do one of their Toon Boom layers be like a manual dot that they placed like on the head, the waist, and like the knee or something like that for the characters walking around. And then the After Effects artist could get those, and it would be just one really simple pass that you could just motion track that little dot and then apply it to a puppet pin for the for a texture card that was slightly animated to cycle every time there was a new frame. But I think in the end it probably just ended up all being ripped apart and done manually.
Yeah, that's cool. Something that we've tried on like some of our like 3D stuff, because we do some of the we do a lot of Redshift stuff too, is like exporting like a pass that has the UV, just like UV maps or whatever, and then there's a plugin in After Effects where you can like remap like a texture to those things, and so you get them at material ID, and then you get like that UV pass, and then you can also do like a texture jitter like kind of on top of it that tracks with things.
That's beautiful.
That's a really clever idea. Are you using Paint and Stick or the UV remap, whatever it's called, from Revision Effects?
I think it's the latter. Yeah, the Revision Effects one.
How do you like the noise in the Moonraker stuff? You had a lot of really, really great like gradient, like noise that was happening in the shading. It was like very Spider-Verse-y. I'm curious how you did.
Oh yeah, pull up that artwork if we can too.
The Moonraker stuff.
Yeah.
Hashi and I kind of picked this stuff apart. I remember when you launched, and I texted you a little bit about it, but I don't remember getting a straight answer about how you did some of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how I did it too. So like a lot of this is in like
Alex's illustration.
Illustrator. Okay. Yeah, it's done in Illustrator, and I have actually done like a Unity version like of this shader, and it might actually be fun to kind of like recreate that in After Effects. But I can walk you through how I did it in Unity. This is a different thing. Hold on. Let's see. This is top secret Moonraker stuff.
Top secret old Moonraker stuff.
Scene start. Don't save it. Why not? So basically, the way that it's done is you like input a black and white value. Let's bring in it's like a gradient or something like that, and then you add essentially a random number generator on top. Let's see. Let's bring in ring planet in here. So I've done it on this planet here, and so you can kind of see like as you move the light. I can find the light. It gets like this nice like gradient fall off with the light. And so it's a really fun effect, and it's like very specific to the Moonrakers.
How is it mapping like that noise? Why is the noise only existing in the fall off and not anywhere else?
Yes, let me bring that up. Gradient.
And I can't quite tell from the stream. Does it animate?
It does animate. Yes. Yeah.
It's so great about it.
So in the nodes over here, we're deep in Unity land right now.
Nodes.
So we got like a UV noise that generates noise. It's just like a 0 through 1 output. I got a pulse that adds to it that like kind of like makes it go up and down a little bit. So like it like pulses a little bit, which is fun, using like just a gradient noise going up and down. And then it uses a step equation. So I'm trying to remember what the step function does.
It steps it.
Let's see. Oh, great. It's just a step. Per component, returns 1 if the value of input in is greater than or equal to the value of the input edge.
Now you're talking my language.
So, yeah, basically, so like input, the top is the like the lighting. So it is like the n.l, which is probably basically just like input like a diffuse lighting essentially. And then on the bottom, you're inputting the noise. And so what happens is like the more light you get, the higher percentage chance that you are going to return a white value. And then the lower the value of the noise is, the lower percent chance you're going to return a noise value. And so what you end up with is like there's no gray values. It's just black and white values. So either it's like purely white or purely in darkness. And that's kind of how that function works. I've never tried to do it in.
Hashi's probably done it. Hashi's probably doing it right now.
I want to try that now.
Oh, this is great. This is great.
I'm gonna just do exactly what you're doing, one step behind.
Perfect. So I just grabbed a gray solid CC sphere. That's the easiest thing I could think of to give me this, and then we'll call this the what? Let's call this the footage one. We'll call it 01 footage, and then we can drag that into a new comp, and here's where we'll try the actual style. Let's call this 2 Zac.
Love it.
All right. So gosh, for a stipple pattern, I mean, there are a couple of, like, there are things like, I think I might have to do it, Seth. CC ball action, everybody.
Hashi, come on, man, come on.
Oh, interesting.
See, I
don't think like just a normal grain would work.
Like grain is fun, but I always feel like it's always feels additive to me, and so
like a blue noise should have like an even distribution. Definitely don't want.
I mean, you could try renoiser, but it tries to be a little too realistic for something stylized like this.
Mm-hmm. Because if this was like, you know, a like posterized and with a grain added to it, I guess you've got kind of this kind of a thing. And if you, I would want to, you know, posterize the time on that. You could probably do that in the grain setting itself. Let's see, animation speed is at 1, and I wonder if I change the animation speed to 0.5. Does that mean it steps? Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, it does. Okay, that's all right.
Yeah,
it's a little bit like your like QR code.
Yeah.
Ish. So, all right. So this is version 1. Seth, are you trying something similar over there?
How did you?
Let's see. Now, if this were, there are things like scatterize too.
Hashi, can you try something for me?
Yes.
I can try it, Michael, but sure.
I don't want you to do anything on your computer that'll cause the stream to lag.
You know, you just said I don't want you to do anything that'll hurt your brain, Seth.
No, I'm trying to think through something here. Okay, so I wish I could fire up my computer and share too. Turn that off. Turn all that off for a second. Just put the extract effect on there.
Mm-hmm.
Crank it all the way up to kill out all the white. Like, crank that all the way over and then soften the heck out of it. Other direction.
Wait.
Yeah, go that way, and then soften the heck out of it, and then turn that to dissolve blending mode over top of something else.
Oh, yep. Dissolve blending mode, classic.
Then that'll
There's
turn
dissolve and dancing dissolve.
Yeah, so that'll get you a grainy whatever that you could use to drive things.
What is the actual dissolve algorithm? I've never understood like what is going on there.
I could it's got to be just some, and I could fill it with black so you get distinctly this pattern, and you could always cheat too just by having like a copy of the original under that it's very lightly influencing it or something. But that's pretty good. Let me just add a white background here. So yeah, I mean that's very straightforward, this effect. I would want to add some more. I wonder if I added rough and edges to this thing at a very small scale, if I could get something that was a little bit cooler.
Mm.
Do you want to know the actual underlying way dissolve works?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
The result color for each pixel is either the source color or the underlying color, and the probability that the result color is a source color depends on the opacity of the source.
Why does that sound so familiar?
And the result color is a source color. If it's 0, then it's the underlying color. Of note, these blending modes do not work on 3D layers. Dancing dissolve, the difference is that the probability function is recalculated for each frame, so it gives you that nice little jumpy noise thing, whereas regular dissolve tends to sit there a little more statically, as the name might suggest.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, look at this. Normal really mode with some rough and edges on your extracted thing, Michael. That's kind of cool.
I love the softened.
Cool. That gives you more control, too.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you could have the evolution move with time or something like that, like 3. Let me see what it looks like really smooth evolution. So that's kind of annoying. So what I would probably want to do is like,
posterize
what is it? Yeah. So posterize the time to like 8 maybe.
Yeah.
And then add a random 0 to 360. So just got a bit of dancingness to it, but not a easy to read pattern. That's kind of fun. And then I could you could say again?
I said I'm on board with this. This is cool.
It's really cool.
It looks great.
And then what if I told this also to set matte too? Crisps the edge a little bit, but it's actually not. I kind of like that it spills over. So now the challenge is to see what this does to anything else. Like the sphere is very pretty, but let's see. Let's try something else.
Any sort of gradient will turn into this. So you could do that on any sort of illustrated character. Footage would look like terrible, though. Possibly. Or it might look amazing. I don't know.
Footage would probably look terrible. So I'm going to...
Throw footage in there and find out. I'm curious now.
All right. I'm going to add an instance of mirror here. All right, let's see, what's let me just browse through some exciting footage that I have. Callback to the beginning of the show. Let me see if I have, here we go.
With this creating withered shading, I feel like we're trying to figure out Ben Marriott's technique just on the fly.
All right, so here's a picture of my house when we moved in, where every chair in the house was an office chair, including in the lovely, like old time, like it was super organized, just weird amounts of stuff. But let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's interesting. That looks like an old, those like classic like open camera, exposure.
Is there a way to get the color back? You probably just multiply.
I think I have a post. Do I have a posterize in here? No, I don't. Wait, there we go.
Yeah,
I'd filled everything in black. That's really crazy. And I wonder. Wait, is the amount of the border amount, I can turn that all the way down in my rough and edges. And look at that. That's wild.
It's almost like a pointalized kind of
point. And I kind of like that you can turn the border up to give it a little bit more artful blurring. Like that looks like like a real exposure blur on a plate that has fixed little things. I can't think of any terms right now. You need to.
Neither. I'm just mesmerized by this. Zach, I do want to mention before we get too far past it in the chat that a person in our chat named Darby, you may have heard of, says that this guy just sounds cool, and that Darby says that Darby knows that Darby will have made it when Darby can finally grow facial hair like you.
Oh, we all believe that about Zach, 100%.
Wow, you're too kind, Darby. It used to be much larger, so I miss it a little bit. But the masks are back, and mask beard is very much a thing. So, for now, short beard.
Webb says this is like ferrotype. Hashi.
What is it like?
Ferrotype. Ferrotyp.
Oh, I don't know what ferrotype is. Is it related to ferrofluid?
So if you wanna take it to the next level,
no, it's a type of tin type.
Take it to the next level.
So if you want to take it to the next level, there's like these like glitches that also get added to things on Moonraker's cards.
Oh.
And so like I don't know if you see them like on this like this reactor card or even on this character illustration over here, there's like these kind of strips of different colors and also like cutting into it a little bit, which is pretty fun. I've taken a little bit of a stab at kind of recreating this effect over in Unity, but haven't ventured over into After Effects as well too.
I've done that in After Effects. I can do it real quick. I mean, well, sorry. You finished doing it first because obviously you're the one who's done it before. But I tried to copy you on something a few years back. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was just simple displacement. It was about making like blocking noise that was just super wide and super short. And I was actually trying to prove to Arn. Maybe I was trying to prove to Arn Rabinowitz. I don't know if he knew it. I don't think I ever told him. I was trying to just prove like that glitches needed their subtlety. Like the best like glitches are stuff that's like much more subtle and much more understated, and it's about mainly these like wide. The best stuff is like these wide strips. Either deciding if it's gonna be wide, then make it very short.
Yeah.
In motion, those look so cool.
Yeah, those look great, Zach. I love how that looks.
Oh, thank you. I wish they were like a little bit more like so right now this is just like I like stepped a wide kind of like soft gradient noise. I like stepped it vertically. So that way it like has like strips to it, and then added two together where they're animating on top of each other, like back and forth. So that way like sometimes they'll come into a positive value essentially, and then multiply that by a color. But like long term, I've always wanted to do these like I would love to get it like actually working in like 3D space or even in 2D space, like in After Effects, because like one of the things I've always tried was like let's see, like doing, let's bring up, get some good old shape layers going here. So we do like just do a really, really small, like colorful shape. And then, let's see. Oh, no, lock that. And then do like a mirror or something like that. Or just this like a good old transform. And then like you can invert scale and transform, right? No, you cannot. I guess you could just do a rotation and then just do like an additive thing, right? The world. Why didn't that work? There. And then you just add like a nice little fast blur on it or something, get that like horizontal thing going. And now you've got like your lens artifact that kind of like goes opposite the frame, right?
That's so funny.
And then you can add multiple layers of it, and then scale the height down. Probably needs to be a bigger layer here. Why is that not working?
Zach, you frozen or are you figuring something out?
There's a keyboard shortcut that just like kills kills Skype for me for some reason.
Oh, Hashi has that too, where it mutes him all the time.
Anyway, I think I'm back.
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, Hashi, you there?
Okay, cool.
Michael, are you there?
Apparently your keyboard shortcut kills Hashi too.
Yep.
Really magical stuff.
This is why you don't. I don't know.
Ever do anything for anyone.
Yeah. He's back.
What's up, everybody? Don't know why.
Voice is back. His picture's not moving.
Yeah,
voice is back. Picture. Oh yeah, I'm just very happy to be here.
Is my screen working again?
Your screen is not. I mean, I've seen it. No, it's not back.
Okay. I've started sharing. Very cool.
Back in the void, everybody.
Yeah, I'm seeing everything. It's happening.
Cool. So you can kind of roll your own like little lens artifacts, just with like some additive layers with some transforms, and like so I've been trying to figure out a way where it's like you have like a luminance pass maybe from like Cinema 4D or Redshift or something like that, and then be able to replicate this like this Moonraker's type gritty glow, but also in like a way that reacts to what's on screen. I don't know what you're doing over there, Hashi, but it's looking cool.
That's awesome.
I'm playing with. I just added a little mirror layer with one of the default ships, and just threw some expressions on it and some fractal noise behind it to see what that looks like over on our stippled.
That's awesome.
And
it's like Sky Captain.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, I could use a little more color influence. I don't know what I would do here. Let's see, I'd maybe add a 4-color grad to it, and then change the blending mode to multiply. Or maybe, can you do color?
Congratulations, 4-color grad.
4-color grad. Ooh. See, I like the 4-color grad because it can just like make this up for me, and then I don't have to be blamed for whatever it ends up looking like. I kind of want it to be yellow and orangey. I'm not doing anything meaningful here, so we're just chilling and doing stuff, and one super red kind of thing. Let's turn down the contrast a bit. That's kind of cool. And then what if I tint the, what does that look like in here? Wow, so blown out. Maybe I can pick a different point for the cutoff.
Zach, what are you doing?
No, it's got to be all the way across.
I'm trying to like still figure out how to replicate this like kind of. I just have like a single light source.
Yeah.
And then just like roll your own like lens artifacts. That's
already incredibly cool.
This, like,
so you've already rebuilt Shine. Now you're gonna rebuild No Light Factory.
Well, now he's gone out of Skype and just disappeared entirely.
He's
back.
Sorry, guys. Command Shift H hides all of the layer things, but it also drops you out of a call. Good times. And I use it all the time. Don't even think about it.
Oh man.
Did I kill Seth in the process? Oh no, he's back.
Oh,
he's dead.
I added my screen again.
Yeah, I'll fix it.
I don't know what happened, but I got knocked out of it too.
Oh no!
Because you just couldn't help but do
like
Command Shift H. You were like, I don't believe him. Let me see.
It's just some kind of like American Gladiator style thing. Just we're all on the platform and something is just running around trying to bounce us.
Yeah, I didn't hit Control Shift H. I'm not that kind of person. Alt F4 is a shortcut for ultimate lives? I'll press that right now.
I don't have anything to do. I'm gonna show everybody how I learned that shape layers are worth using.
Actually, Seth, I was gonna say you could show off your blocky glitchy effect that you were talking about.
No, I decided against that because I couldn't replicate it. I've forgotten how I did it. I was like, Zach, it's so easy, and then I literally don't remember.
I mean, well, first of all, Hashi, that looks amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm making a like animatrix style thing.
But for blocky glitches, you just need fractal noise in block mode at a high scale value and adjust complexity as needed, and feed that as a displacement map that gets you blocky glitches.
Yes, and then what I also did was I applied set mat on itself. So it would look at itself and use its luminance to determine its alpha. And so then you're only getting, and I turned up the contrast real big. So it's really only getting, and I used the transparency as this displacement map rather than the luminance. And also, yeah, that's like the beginning of the journey of coming up with like some pretty cool blocky, glitchy stuff. It's on one of the Trap Code Heroes. There's some kind of fake intro I made, some render that was like with a fake credit. Maybe I can find that. So I can prove that I might have known what I was doing at one point. Not that anyone needs the proof. I need the proof. I need to know.
I'm adding some ecto to this, Seth.
Add some ecto to it. Do it.
Let's see. I'm going to make Ecto 3D. I'm going to attach it to the mirror null, and then let me just zero out its orientation a bit. That should align it almost just straight with this thing. Turn those sideways. I'll tell this not to accept lights. Don't accept them. Drag it under mirror and put them, somewhere like this. Just this mask, line up with that. Okay, let's see what we got now. Yeah. It's become less and less readable the more I try to add to this, but I kind of like it. Wait, let me see. If that shadow were darker or were not black, let me see if that would look terrible. Nah, it still forces it black. Losing some elements of simplicity that I think I had. Oh well. Maybe I need to animate the light to go all over the place too.
You're a little laggy.
Again, just as a head.
I believe you.
Oh, there we go. There's some more animated light on this thing. Let's see.
Zach, what are you doing, by the way? That looks beautiful.
I've brought in an abandoned Moonmakers trailer that we were working on a long time ago, and like trying to see what this noisy stuff will do for like footage. So here's the renders from
what?
Yeah, this thing is awesome.
From Redshift.
Redshift.
Got like Nice little spaceship flying through here. And this guy's Boba Fett, and that right that like's hiding on the
herb. Yeah, hides out on the side of the thing.
Yep. And then they take off and start chasing him down, and then they're gonna shoot him down. It's like a little space action short film. But then like trying to see what like, so I've got access to with like EXR, I just use the extractor or whatever. Got access to a bunch of these different layers. So this is like the diffuse lighting, like trying to see if I can get like some of this like noisy kind of affectation on everything to kind of hit that Moonraker's look. I don't know if diffuse is the right. There's like, I don't know, how much am I getting in spec lighting? No. Volume lighting? But I was able to do it in the emission channel like a little bit, which is fun. Like blend that with some other stuff in there. But it's not really coming together very readable.
Looks so, like the elements look so pretty though.
Yeah, no, probably wouldn't want to garbage it because it actually looks pretty on its own. But Max, who is our technical director who rendered this, he's like, yeah, just come on, man, just show them my stuff. What do you got to be adding all your compositing?
Yes, we do. Otherwise, what's the point? Like, why have compositors if we can't be allowed to ruin everything?
Okay, so what was your stack of effects that was doing this like real grainy looking?
I think it was an extract, and then basically the black point, white point, and black softness are all 0, and the white softness is all the way up at 255. A really pointy shape, so it keys out everything. And then I just added roughened edges to it with the scale. You can just kind of play with the scale, and that kind of changes the stipple.
So turn your black point down, you'll see
throughout.
The softness. Like turn the black point or white point down first before you turn up the softness. In fact, if you grab those guys up top.
Okay.
Sorry, white point down, yeah.
White point down.
And now turn the softness up.
Okay, white point down, and then what?
Yeah.
The white softness?
There you go. You see how it's stretching up there?
This is wild, I know.
That'll be like your dial for your fall off.
Yeah, you need to turn it like all the way up pretty much, and then the roughened edges on it.
Learning all kinds of new plugins.
So I found my render of my blockiness, and it's not as blocky as I remembered it being, but this is one of the renders that I made for a Trapcode release a while back, where I believe the render is called Whirlatory because I was trying to just rip off territory. And the glitches that they tend to do in all of their stuff, which is it's just all about like tiny horizontal glitches and then doubling them up on them on themselves.
The saddest thing in the world is that the world is not more privy to your naming conventions, Seth.
Very sweet of you.
Cool.
Yes, that is transitioning from. I may have stolen this. Learned from this from Andrew Kramer about transitioning with glitches by doing a linear wipe with luminance. Like it's basically tricking the. It's this really. God, I don't even remember off the top of my head. But it's about using like a linear wipe that like wipes like a set mat from one pre-comp with text in it to another pre-comp with text in it, and the displacement happens at the same time as that linear wipe happens. Like it's following the same luminance map, and so it's very cool. It creates this like natural transition between two things really easily. I'm not giving any real information. I'm literally just alluding to ideas.
Some information you might have got from Andrew once.
How's that going over there, Zach?
Not great. That's what you want. I should be using a different noise. I don't like this noise very much.
This was the fun thing I did with shape layers.
Maybe
was I animated. This is all shape layers. Like, and with that, I've always been just a person who like brings in an artist's like Illustrator or Photoshop layer, usually Photoshop layer, and just like works from PNGs and stuff. And like this one, I was like, because Micah Lanier had already designed like a design that looks very much like this on the Plot Devices site. And I was like, I wonder if I can do this with shape layers and then some rough and edges, with rough and edges and with an expression on the evolution and a time posterization on that. Excuse me, time posterization on that that evolution. Yada yada yada. So it gives this like 2s and 4s look, and I come to find out this is like what everybody does, and I had no idea.
It's funny if you ever wander into like with me with like motion graphics territory. I don't do a lot of title design kind of stuff, but it's a whole wide world of like tips and tricks that you will independently discover and then go, oh yeah, of course.
This one works like this whole spin I had to do. It's like two different. There's a line and a circle, and
I love.
Oh, thanks.
I love your technique for doing that.
It's got a null object. So it's like a line and a circle. I've got this main null that everything is. I've got a scene null everything is parented to. I don't know if that's doing anything. I don't remember. I don't think it is. This main null that it's parent that like is at the end of the line, but is but at the top of the circle. And then, hang on. Then I've got the spin null. This is like a whole system of nulls. Like, so the idea is that all of the ticks are parented to their own nulls and this spin null, and the spin null will rotate at the right time and rotate. So let me turn off the circle. So the line will trim path itself away while the circle trim paths itself on, and the ticks will animate like with their anchor point from wherever they start to 0, and then they will begin to rotate from the rotate null around, and thus creates the look of a line turning into a circle and the ticks rotating along it. I don't know if anything I just said made sense, but it looked like a thing.
It's nice. It was the first thing that I wanted to know about how it was done with.
And now I just can't stop playing with them because it's like they render so much faster on my computer. They're not right now because I'm live streaming, but they render so much faster than like layers of PNGs and everything I've always done. Because I have.
Oh yeah. How did you do stuff like this before? Like what? Like I'm just like I never knew any other way. Like other than doing shape layers.
Zach, the thing is.
It's like not well, Zach.
Well, one, I'm like I don't animate. I've never really done like handwriting animation stuff, and when I did, oh, I'm embarrassed to tell you. So like the darker colors opening titles, then when they scribble on, and that is just a screen capture. It's a screen capture on my iPad of me scribbling out the text in Procreate. Even though Procreate can record your brushstrokes, which I didn't know. And then so I'm taking that screen capture into After Effects, Luma-matting the hell out of it, or Luma whatever, the hell out of it, and then going from there. I'm not proud of it.
Hey, I think all of these techniques are very valid. Like any way that you,
I know, but I teach a college class
something
on
that
this
someone
stuff,
else is
guys.
doing. Is
nothing, because I teach.
What do they know?
Because I'm their teacher. They know how to screen capture Procreate.
It all works, right?
Well, it's 1:57, guys. I'm
Amazing. Wow.
Wait, I'm hearing something. Hashi, are you talking? I can't tell if you are or not. Oh. Well, listen,
no.
guys. This was a really fun show. Zach, did you get anywhere with that? Oh my God. Sorry. It looks so cool.
Probably. I'm really just like compositing it like normally now. So, not really. I couldn't figure out a way to get this like noisy thing to work with this like footage. But anyways, I don't know. Maybe we'll finish this short
someday.
It's
a safe space for just doing some housework.
Yeah.
During the show,
just like falling in love with
release.
the short again.
You still sell the game, so I don't see why you
can't. That's what
can't.
I'll be working on now. It's true. Even got like expansions coming out. I don't know if you play Moonrakers, but doing expansions this summer.
You should definitely finish your short out if you have an expansion pack coming. If you've got a good short and you miss the initial deadline, there's always a good other secondary, third, fourth deadline you can meet to get your Venom project done. Your project done.
You know what he's talking about, Seth? Michael sounds.
Yeah, no, I just no. I do actually. It's your Venom short that you haven't finished. Sorry, I realized I'm not a part of this.
Oh. Yes, the one we dedicated the show to.
In memory, we dedicated the show in memory of last week, or
in memory of.
Jokes aside, that thing looks beautiful, and I want you to release it so I can watch it.
Well, thank you. Wait, but this Venom thing. So, was there a Venom? Did you make a Venom short film for the?
You're picking up on it. Great. You're picking up great on what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm smart. I'm with it.
We saw the trailer for Venom 1, as it were, and we were like, let's make a short about a buddy roommate comedy about how awkward it would be to live with Venom. And so we filmed this whole short with David Hewlett. It was amazing. He did a really good job. Kind of got a really rough cut of it right after that, and then decided to just put it in the freezer for 3 years.
Love that.
While Venom came out and then got released on streaming, and then they had time to make a full sequel, including a teaser segment, which is so evocative of what our short was all about, which is
really
just a messy apartment, and like Venom is kind of messy and annoying to live with because he's all violent and you're trying to be all peaceful. So we still have that short, but it involved a lot of technology I did not know how to do. Facial motion capture and things like that. But keep your eyes peeled for it as the days come on. We'll start teasing.
By teasing, he means doing the effects work on the show is what he means.
Yes.
Hey, Zach, if people want to buy any of your games or look up any of your stuff, where should they go?
So animationiv.studio is our studio site. Games, just Google our games, probably the easiest way. But most of them are just like moonrakersgame.com and mythicmischiefgame.com. All that stuff is easy to find that way. And then, Instagram is probably the best space. IV___studio.
Awesome.
On Instagram. So, come.
Dude, thanks for being on the show, man. This was a lot of fun. And please come back regularly because you're like an infinite well of incredibly cool tricks and ideas and things that look amazing and have yet to be finished. Not all of them yet to be finished, but if even the stuff you haven't finished yet looks ready to ship. So.
Oh, yeah, your colors and your lighting are gorgeous.
But really, most importantly, it's your glows.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks for having me. Big fan of all of you. So
all right. That's it for our show with the Master of Glows, Zac Dixon. Every time we get to this point in the show and I talk as if I have an outro copy, and we don't. We never have written the outro copy. So what I want to tell you is that here's some credits.